Hey guys, welcome to another 31 Horror Toys in 31 Days review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Ghost Rider figure by Marvel Legends, and this is the newest Ghost Rider. There have been so many different versions. I mean, there's a blue version, there's an orange version, of course. There's all sorts of different types from different characters like Danny Ketch, freaking Johnny Blaze, which is who this guy's based off of. Yep, so this is just the newest one, so that's all I got to say. And this figure is awesome. Really, there's no complaints except for maybe with the engineering. He's a little floppy in some places, but the sculpt and paint, spot on, and I like that a lot. So let's take a look at the sculpt and paint right now, in fact. So to start out, you can see his nice skull, which has a translucent look to it because they made it translucent. Looks like a clear plastic, and then they sprayed some sort of orangeness into it. I don't know, it looks odd. And then he's got a little bit of a whiteness peppered onto his face. Not really completely painted, just a little bit on the front. And then accentuated with some orange eyeballs there, which have been painted as well. Well, technically no eyeballs. Orange eye holes. I like that. I wonder if there should be some in his nose. I don't know, that would probably look weird. And I like that his mouth can articulate here, so you can see this separate piece is sculpted very well, and it sort of fits in with the rest of the head without being all weird and wiggled away. Then his neck has these flames. Let me take off his head so you can see these flames going all around. And then there's his little spine, which you can tell is a spine. If it was painted white, it would be a lot easier to tell, because right now it kind of just melds into the overall thing there. I like the flame effects. It really does look fiery. And then as you can see, as for paint, he's basically just got these buckles here, the belt here, and then just this stuff here going throughout in the head. The rest is just basic color. It's like plastic that's that color and not painted. Maybe like the boots might, I'm going to say the gloves are probably painted a different color, just because they look a little more shiny than the arm part, so I'm going to say that's painted. Even though it wouldn't really be needed, they may have painted that. Okay, so the sculpt on him looks pretty good. I like all the little folds and creases. His boots look really nice. This is actually a reused part, body, in fact, of Star-Lord. They made a comic book Star-Lord version, and that's what this is reused from. It may be reused from a different other types of figures, but I know that Star-Lord had this. But this entire neck part is different with the spine and all the fire flames, and then this collar. And then everything else is basically the same. As you can see, he has trigger fingers, even though Ghost Rider's not really carrying a gun. He doesn't come with a gun. In fact, the only accessory he comes with, technically, is this little chain, which you can remove. I'm not sure if this is actually supposed to be an accessory or just part of his costume, but as we all know, Ghost Rider carries a chain, even though Johnny Blaze didn't carry a chain. It was Danny Ketch, and then Johnny Blaze picked it up later after he started wearing leather jackets, in fact. So this technically, as well, is not an accurate look for him to be carrying a chain. But he did wear a chain, so whatever. If you want to display him with a chain, you can use that tiny little chain that he comes with. If I say chain one more time, I'm going to kill someone with it. Freaking, the thing that I'm talking about. Yeah, it's sculpted well. It can fit into his hands like that. And, yeah, it's not too easy to pose. Just looks odd, maybe. Yeah, whatever you want with that. Let's put that back on. It fits on fairly nicely. You just gotta mess around with it to get it back on. Go over the head, over the shoulder, and then there we go. Okay, so that's his basically only accessory, which is painted well, and it looks like a chain, so there's that. Dang it, I said that word again. It's got a nice silver color to it, and then I think that's a black wash. Looking pretty cool. And overall, the sculpt and paint is good, no complaints. I think it captures the character's look very well. In fact, all of this stuff is accurate to the early comics. It just all very well fits together. Kind of odd that it's just borrowed off of Star-Lord. Gotta wonder if Star-Lord actually had all this stuff here. I don't know, I haven't read the older comics, so I wouldn't know. So now let's talk about articulation. As for the head, he can do a full 360, kind of. It does turn up at an angle. Then he can look up that much, look down that much. If you can see that, yep. And then he's got head pivot, which I like. He can be all expressive with. Boochie, boochie, boochie. And then at the shoulders, he can move full 360. He can move upward that much, not too far. It's a little inhibited by the big elbow pad look he has there. But I will point out that because it's sort of extra dug in there, he can bend it inward quite a bit. So if you wanted him to, like, not sure what you could really do with that. Yeah, but whatever. Okay, and then at the little, I guess that's bicep, there's a full 360 spin, then double jointed elbows, and then at the wrist there's a full 360 spin as well with that scratch at a wall pose, which he can so easily perform. It's basically the same on both arms, as you can see. Yeah. Then at the abs here, you can crunch that far, you can crunch back that far, and then full 360 spin at the waist. At the hips, he can kick forward that much, kick off to the side, not too far actually, it's inhibited at the crotch there. So his great articulation in the ankles is going to be a problem with this, so you can't display him to full extent. Okay, anyway, full 360 spin at the hips, and then, let's see, double jointed knees, no boot cut, which would have been nice, but I'm okay with that. He can move his foot forward that much and backward that much, and of course, amazing ankle pivot. Feet are the same on both sides. So let's see how far he can go with this ankle pivot. Yeah, see, because of the lack of articulation in the hips, it's only limited to about that much. Yeah, there he is, fully utilizing his articulation there completely, which, you know, it looks good to me. I don't think you really need to have them in the splits, especially Ghost Rider, who's just limited to riding motorcycles and kicking butt. Yeah, so anyway, this guy is really cool. It's unfortunate that he doesn't come with a motorcycle or any real accessories, but he's well sculpted, well painted, and as for Marvel Legends, I would say just pretty dang cool. Might as well also point out that his jaw is articulated. I guess that's an articulation point too. I just completely forgot about that. Okay, so also, if you want a motorcycle for him, it's gonna kind of be hard because there's so many different types, and the one that comes with the older Marvel Legends one is just way too tiny. I got this from a dollar store, so this is about the closest he's gonna get to having a true motorcycle, but, you know, no huge complaints, right? It does its fair share of looking cool. It's no Harley Davidson, but if you want to pose him on a motorcycle, why not? Yeah, kind of hard to get him on a motorcycle. There we are. Okay, so tell me what you guys think about this figure. Is he awesome? Is he not? Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and stick around for some size comparisons. I will see you guys in the next review. Peace. Here's Ghost Rider next to the Caretaker, which I did do a review of him. Make sure to check that out. Here he is next to NECA Hicks. He stands at about 7 inches tall. And here he is next to a horrified looking Dale.